Huda Kattan. I have always loved her. I love her makeup line. I've loved hearing her story, love her tutorials, but she's really disappointed me recently. We're going to talk about her little scandal. We're going to talk a little bit of other celebrity beauty community gossip as well. Do a little get ready with me, play with some makeup, and just chit chat. If that interests you, stick on around, pop that subscribe button, and let's get started. So I'm going to start off with a little skincare. I am just going to use what I've been using in my skincare recently, which I start off with this LMS toner. I got this in a BoxyCharm, I think. And then on top of that, we're going to do this Dalba Aromatic Spray Serum. Oh, I am absolutely in love with this serum. I got this in my Allure box, and oh, it is heavenly. Then after my recent skincare declutter, I discovered I have not even touched this Sephora moisturizer, so I'm going to start trying to use it. I really like it. It's pretty thick, so it feels pretty good. Also using this eye cream real quick, Murad. I think that was in a BoxyCharm as well. So this has kind of been my routine lately. The brows I'm going to use today, Kaida Brow. This is a brow soap I got off of Amazon, and I love this stuff. The pencil that I'm going to use today is this Winky Lux from my Allure box also. I will put all of the products I'm using today. I'll try to link them all down below in the caption for you in case there's anything you liked and are curious about. I love this styling cream because it makes my brows really textured. Huda Kattan. So if you're not familiar with her, she is one of the top like beauty brands and was a makeup artist, probably still is, I guess, and influencer. I have always really loved her. I love her makeup line, and coincidentally, we're going to use some Huda Beauty today in our look. I'm going to use her Nudes palette, which is one of my absolute favorite palettes I've ever scored. Recently, there was a TikToker. Now, she's pretty big. I'm going to put the name of her handle for you on the screen so you can find her if you're curious. And I guess she had some kind of video out there. Huda's brand reached out to this TikToker and asked her for permission to share the video. So as a fellow creator myself, I get this all the time. I have brands, you know, if I'm using something of a certain brand and I tag them, or they, you know, stumble upon me and see I'm using it, every now and then they'll ask for permission to reshare. And, you know, as creators and we're getting paid, we got to get our income from somewhere. Like, we really, you know, to get free work out of us is something, you know, they really should be paying us for that because we can charge for rights to our content and all of that. But the creator said, sure. Probably, my guess, if I had Huda Beauty reach out to me and asked to share something of mine, I would be all like, yes, times 1,000. That would be very exciting and make my day. So I guess just putting myself in that position and thinking of how it would make me feel. Anyway, instead of, oh, and of course they prefaced it with, you know, we love your work. We love what you did here. Can we share? And she was like, sure. So they came with the intent of sharing it in a positive light. We're going to be using Tarte Shape Tape. So she gave them permission, but then instead of using it in a positive way, they took the video, and Huda Kattan herself completely like butchered it and picked it apart and told her, you really should have been doing this, so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to put a little clip of it in here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about.
And girl, it should be good. Okay, we do not need to use that much color corrector.
So, as you can see, just, by the way, beauty blenders, so cheap off of Temu. I get a lot of beauty supplies from there now, like beauty blenders and sponges, and I'll show you the powder puff when it comes time for the powder, all from that site, and it's so much cheaper than anywhere else. So amazing stuff. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and use powder now. I'm going to be finishing up this Real Her Blurring Veil. It's like a powder, loose powder. I'm not sure I'm super crazy about it. Now, after she shared this video that was very negative against this girl. Hold on, I'm going to go get the palette. And this is her Huda Beauty Nude palette. It is amazing, I have to admit. Gorgeous palette. We're going to use this in honor of subject of our discussion today, right? Ironically. So anyway, after she trashed this TikToker, you know, the TikToker kind of fought back and was like, that was not cool. And she went and posted about it and said, you know, if you're going to ask me if you can share it, I would really appreciate if you would let me know that you're going to criticize me in it first and like what it's being used for. That was not cool. I agree with her. And so from that point of view, I feel like, you know, I'm an influencer myself, and like, I just can't even imagine. I would be mortified if Huda Beauty shared something of me and was like, a girl, you know? And so I'm going to put a little clip of what she said in there.
Okay, the next time you roast me or anyone, can you at least give the courtesy of telling us what the video will be about before we agree to letting you post it?
Tease. I don't really know what I'm creating today, but we're just going to see what unfolds, okay? So anyway, after that, she actually came back, I think a few days later, and she responded. And I guess she tried to claim that, you know, it was supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, not really picking on her. That made me lose even more respect for her. I'm going to let you listen to a clip real quick of her response.
TikTok, and I was reacting to a content creator by the name of Mina. In the video, she applies corrector in a way that I hadn't seen before. The reaction was just supposed to be like a genuine reaction video. It works for her. It was just my perspective. It was supposed to be a little tongue-in-cheek, because she did not take it that way.
Yeah. An apology that is I'm sorry that you got offended. Not I'm sorry, right? Guys, I normally am not really like this where I will, you know, feed into negativity. I like to keep things positive. I really do. I love this. So I'm just going to play with it and see what it creates here. I really, really do. I like to keep things uplifting. I feel like people make mistakes. We're all human. We've all done things that get misinterpreted to things that people believe about us that aren't true. Like, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt and not like feed on this stuff and attack people, because I try to think about like, okay, my dream would be to be a celebrity and to make it really big, to be as big as Huda Beauty. One day, guys, I will manifest it. And I'm like, do I really want to be under attack constantly, under everybody's noses, every time I say anything and it gets misconstrued? No, I don't want to be treated that way. So, you know, I don't normally attack like this, but I think it's just because that truly was not like accepting ownership. Sorry, I have a hard time talking and doing this part of the eye makeup at the same time. So, I will preface with that this isn't normally me. Normally I'm very positive, but there's just some things that really like burn my britches. And when they do, I stand up for them. And I'm just like, you know, especially when I know I have the perspective of the person that's kind of been wronged, in my opinion. She makes amazing products. I love her product lines. And so if you go back and you listen to her story, like, I mean, she was a normal everyday kid in Tennessee. And I guess she was surrounded by like beautiful everybody. And she felt she was actually pretty hairy, and, you know, it was a insecurity for her. And what got her into beauty was finding remedies for her insecurities. And then she went on, she was supposed to study finance in, this is Kat Von D, by the way, tattoo liner, eyeliner. I think it was in Boxy also, all these awesome products. But anyway, and so I guess she went to Dubai and she was supposed to be studying finance because her family wanted her to, and she hated it, and ended up eventually moving to LA and studied makeup. And that's where she went on to become so successful. So it's like a truly you know, following your dream story, which is so inspiring to me. It resonates with me so much. I was just so inspired by her story, but it's like, I think sometimes you see people who it really all does kind of go to their head, don't you think? And I think some of this fame's gone to her head. And I hope that I will not have that kind of response whenever I make it big. So this is left over from the Tarte Lights Camera Action. And I freaking love this mascara so much. I didn't know how much I loved it in the beginning, but I have come to just absolutely fall in love with it. Oh my gosh. This e.l.f. Putty Primer. This is almost out too, so I'm just kind of trying to use the very last of it as well. After all of that, like a day later, she deleted it. She deleted the apology. And then she also deleted the original post. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I love this stuff so much. Been loving it. It was so hard to get my hands on it at first, but I finally got it. And so I've been really enjoying this one. I do tend to have to do at least 2 coats of it though to really get it built up to where I feel it covers everything. And I'm using Sigma, by the way, my favorite kabuki brush ever. This is the F80, and I use this on all my clients. This is my main foundation brush that I do in professional makeup. Best brush ever. Like, nothing compares to it for me. But anyway, okay, so she deleted it after all that. I'm sure that I'm sure that everybody was giving her a hard time. So I just don't tolerate bullying. And I feel like that was like total bullying and exploiting. There's other influencers and other like celebrities and people in the beauty community that have had scandal and, you know, drama and all. And I, for the most part, like, you know, I follow it, but I don't think it like burns my britches like this did quite as much. I think sometimes I can kind of see it from different angles too. And like, sometimes I think some things get blown up and I'm like, well, I could see how they got confused. I don't know. I try to give them a benefit of the doubt. So we're going to talk about another example of that. So we will move on to a little other celebrity stuff. I have started doing my contour first before concealer highlight and all. I don't know why. And then I kind of come back over it. By the way, this little headband is from Burst. It was gifted to me and it's so cute. It's like my favorite little thing to keep my hair back. So fun. Okay. Another one I'm kind of trying to use up. I'm trying to do like a project pan on this palette, but it's hard. This is from Whoosh Beauty. I love this thing. It is so convenient and handy. And it was gifted. But as you see, like the first thing to go is the foundation and concealer. That's what I use the fastest of everything. And then I used up some of the eyeshadow. It just makes a perfect like neutrally eyeshadow look. So now I'm kind of trying to just finish out this palette and use up like the contour and blush and stuff. Did recently share, sorry, my bed is also not made because my dog won't let me make it. So that's bothering me that my bed is like all frumpy in the background. Mikayla Nogueira, again, I shared a recent video where I was testing out the mascara in question, you know, her big lash gate scandal. And so if you don't know about that one, go catch up on that video. I'll link it for you. Since then, she's gotten in a little more trouble. And, you know, she never really addressed the whole lash gate thing to begin with. Like, it was kind of crazy. But then she participated in a fundraiser. So she has this hairdresser she teamed up with who I'm going to pick. You know what? I might actually do the brighter pink for this look because we have some pink going on. So she has a hairdresser and she teamed up with him. I think he's doing her hair for like her wedding or something. And they were kind of having like just a day playing around, made a video while he was practicing her hair for the wedding, I think. And I guess they teamed up for a fundraiser where I don't even remember what it was, but it was for like some kind of worthy cause. They were going to do a giveaway where you could win this like really prestigious, was it like some kind of bag, like Coach bag or something? I'm going to have to go back and refresh my memory on what it was they were winning. But it was like crazy, a giveaway that you could win when you donated to this cause. So that sounds great. They were advertising it. It wasn't really her that was organizing it though. It was his like beauty organization, but she was a partner helping out with it and sponsoring it, okay? So she was still part of it. Turns out this is against GoFundMe's rules. So it was on a GoFundMe. GoFundMe has rules that you can't do like a giveaway where you're giving people prizes in exchange for, you know, donating. So GoFundMe took it down, or I don't know who took it down. Somebody took it down because it was violating the rules. But then, of course, all these people had already donated. And now it just got taken down. So now what happens to all that money? The people have already donated. Like, it's not going to anything now. Did it get to the right people or not? And then, since it's against the rules, are any of these people going to be entered into a giveaway? They've given money under false pretenses. So that's a whole mess too. So this is the latest little scandal with her. But on this one, you know, I give a little more grace personally, just because I don't know that much about GoFundMe either. And I've actually looked into trying to start a fundraiser for an animal shelter that I want to donate to. And I don't know the rules and how to organize it. And I wanted to do more research on it. So I think I can kind of see how they could make that mistake of just not knowing enough and not intentionally trying to like rob people or go against the rules. I think it was just a matter of like not doing enough research and realizing that you can't do that, you know? So that one to me isn't as snaky as Huda Beauty just flat out like being a bully. In my opinion, I could be totally off base. I think it's just the fact that Mikayla has been in so much trouble and did all these like shady things recently that everybody's just kind of like, oh my God, we got another one. Okay, I'm gonna wipe some of this powder off, and then I am gonna come back in and follow it with the e.l.f. What is this? e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I don't like their shade ranges in this, and I don't think I have quite the right shade range for me. And then I'm gonna come back in again and just touch up. I kind of have a blend of the contour and blush still. I'm gonna use the Natasha Denona highlight I got recently. I did a whole video and review on this. You can check that out if you are curious. I'm just gonna pop a little. I got a little bit much on my nose. I look like Rudolph. I'm going to glide the sleigh tonight, aren't I? Okay, in honor of the next controversy, some good old MAC. So we are going to talk about MAC in a minute. So what we're going to talk about next is, what is her name? Marlena Stell, if that's her right name. So she was over Makeup Geek. I'm thinking, was she the same one that called out Jaclyn Hill during the lipstick fiasco too? I can't remember if that was the same woman. I'm thinking it might be. But anyway, so she recently started discussing, we're going to go with MAC Soar, by the way. I've used this in other videos. I use it all the time on clients. One of the favorite liners. And it's hard to talk and do a lip liner at the same time. But she basically was talking about some of the really shady tactics that big brands will use in their marketing. And so one of those companies was MAC. She talked about how what they'll do sometimes is that they will feature like lipsticks, the same exact shade they've always had, but just relabel it, re-put it back out on the market and call it limited edition. So that was like one of the tactics. I'm going to be using this brand new shade I picked up from Revlon. It is called Heartbreaker Matte 005. Now what's new with Revlon? Because I thought they were going under, but I've still been getting a lot of like new makeup. So I hope they're still going to be around for a little while. I got this. It's a bright pink because I'm testing it out for a client that wants bright pink for her wedding day, and I just want to see how it looks with the full combo here. And this is a similar look to what we're going with on her, but it's a little different. And I was using the same Huda Beauty palette. So we're going to try it out. That is some bright pink, isn't it? I hope she likes it. It might not be neon bright enough for her. I don't know. I'll let her see it later. But anyway, other things that companies do, they'll pretend like something's sold out, but they really have it in stock, and they'll put it back in stock like a month later. And they'll say, oh, it's sold out, just to like create the appearance of demand. Other things that they'll do is call something high end, but they are buying a lot of their stuff from China that's like so much cheaper. So MAC was one of the ones she definitely called out on doing that. So this is another one. Like, what do we think about these little tactics and shady things that these big brands do? You know, I'm wondering, do smaller brands do it too? Do we really need to call out just the big brands? I don't know. Last, we're going to put on lashes. I'm normally not a big magnetic lash person, but I got these in a giveaway and I've still not tried them. So let's try them out now. I think this is a good time. They look pretty cool, though they're like, they have a very long end. I'm just going to go in, put a little dab along my lash line here. I don't know, this is a very long, do you see this lash line? Interesting. So I've never tried velour lashes before, and I had actually been wanting to, but like I said, I'm just not a magnetic lash kind of girl. What do we think? I don't understand the long line on the end of it. Like, I'm not a magnetic lash person. I don't understand this part that's hanging on the end, so I'm going to clip it. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I don't like these lashes. They're very pretty, but very hard to apply. They're not staying on. It may just be the lash liner. Like, maybe if I use a different liner with it, that it might stick better. And that was fun. I just wanted to kind of like have a dish sesh. I don't know. What are your thoughts? And this lash is bothering me because it's still popping like right there. You can see the little line of that lash. But what are your thoughts about all of these little scandals? Huda Kattan, Mikayla Nogueira, and your thoughts on these big brands and the marketing practices that they do. Sorry, you can hear my son in the background. All right, guys, that wraps it up. Make sure you pop that subscribe if you enjoyed today. I don't do a lot of these because I like to be kind of positive and everything, but maybe we'll do some get ready with me's in the future, makeup looks, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.